Welcome to your evening wind down short and sweet stretch series. So this is a series that I really enjoy doing when I've had a big day at work and I just need to take 10 to 15 minutes to wind down. Sometimes I really like to do yin yoga, but that tends to take a little bit longer. So I've taken the best of the stretches that I really enjoy doing just before bed that seem to really calibrate my body into a really nice deep sleep cycle. So we're gonna start and I'm gonna bring you into each pose for about 2 minutes each side. That's going to allow us to really focus and slow down the breath and also start to really release the fascia. So that's all the muscle tissue that runs through your body, which gets crinkled up and tight over time. So we want to start to take some time to really release that fascia and allow the body to calibrate into these nice deep stretches. So let's start in pigeon pose. What we're going to do is tuck the front foot in and extend the back leg all the way out. Okay, so you may need some props for this. I haven't got a yoga block on me, but if you do have a yoga block, you can rest that underneath this leg here, and that's just gonna prop you up a little bit higher if you haven't quite got the range. So just tucking that front foot in, bringing the top hip down, so we're closing both hip bones towards the floor, and that might be enough for you, just depending on how much mobility and strength you have through the hips. That might be enough, but if that feels pretty easy for you, you're gonna let yourself drop down onto the elbows, and just opening up the palms to the ceiling and just closing down the eyes or just looking down at the floor in front of you. And we're just gonna sit into this pose for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes per side. So while you're here, you can start to really slow down your breath. So I want you to breathe into the belly for 3, 2, 1, and breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Breathing in and breathing out. It can feel really nice to breathe in through the nose first, and then out through the mouth for the first couple of breaths. And then I want you to start to bring the breath all the way through the nose and out through the nose as well. So breathing in and breathing out. And just letting the breath move through with a little bit of noise, letting go of any tension from the day, and just letting yourself settle into this stretch in the hips. So we just want to slow everything right down, come into your center, and every time your mind starts to wander, just let it, and then come back to the breath again. For women especially, this can feel a little bit uncomfortable. We hold a lot of our tension up in our psoas, so that's up in your hip. So just really letting that tension fall away and letting whatever's there come through, meeting yourself in kindness, and then we're gonna gently start to release out of this and switch to the other side. So just taking it really slow when you come out of each pose as well, because it is quite a deep stretch that we're working through here. So again, just bending that front foot in, back leg straight, and letting yourself fall into it wherever you want to. So with each stretch, I want you to allow yourself to get to about a 7 out of 10 for discomfort. Anything beyond that and you've gone a little bit far, so just find a way to back off, whether it's loading a yoga block under your butt here, whatever feels good for you, or just backing off. But we want a little bit of discomfort. We're trying to teach the body that it's okay to be in these ranges and really letting that fascia release. And the best way to do that is by coming back into your parasympathetic nervous system. So using the breath to allow and really deepening the exhales and trying to meet yourself in kindness in each moment. If you're feeling yourself trying to fight against the stretch, just letting go a little bit more and coming back to that cycle of breathing. So 3 seconds in through the nose and out through the nose. Finding your center, grounding in, and just allowing the day to move forward. Finding peace, keeping those eyes closed or centered down on the floor in front of you, coming back into presence with yourself, and just meeting yourself in this time and space. I think one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is to just learn to let go and surrender a little bit as well. If you're anything like me, I tend to be a little bit of a control freak sometimes. So I find that this kind of movement and really taking this time to do the deep stretching and the deep releasing can be really, really great, just to let go a little more, which is what we need to have that deep rest in the evening. Okay, cool. Gently coming out of that stretch. We're going to reverse this now, and you're going to meet me on your stomach. So just swing those legs behind you, bring your hip bones onto the floor, legs extended out, and we're going to fold one knee up to 90 degrees. So just finding a gentle stretch there. You may find that you want a little bit more, so you can come up a little bit higher, but then we're going to bring our hands into Sphinx pose. So you're just going to rest the elbows underneath your shoulders, palms flat on the floor, and just feeling a little bit of tension into the lower back and stretching that knee up where it wants to go. And once more, we're going to find our breath in this stretch. So just letting the hips relax, letting the spine relax, finding your center. And this stretch is really nice to start working with your breath. You can actually feel the belly expanding into the floor. So as you breathe in, expanding the belly first, then up into the rib cage, and then into the lower back, and then releasing the breath and feeling those muscles contract back in. So now we're going to start to work on a little bit of a different breath cycle. So we're going to start to work on box breathing. So I want you to breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1, and then hold, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep that breath going. So breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, breathing out, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. You're just going to keep that rhythm going in your own time, becoming really aware of yourself in your space, enjoying that feeling and the sensation of the hips relaxing, and feeling that back relaxing, and the discomfort that was there at the start has probably subsided a little bit through your breath. So let's really gently take one more breath in and release the breath and release the body out of this one. You might want to just take a couple of seconds to just rest the arms and the head on the floor, and then we're going to bring our leg up to the other side and pop yourself back up into that Sphinx pose. Let's find the breath once more. So I want you to take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. And just resting in, noticing any discomfort and trying to breathe through that. And then we're going to return to our box breathing. So let's go. Breathing out and breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1, and hold, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, keep that rhythm going. If there's any discomfort building, see if you can lean into it using the breath. There's a really great practice called Vipassana. You might have heard of it. It's a 10-day silent meditation retreat that you can go on. And in that meditation, basically it's teaching you the art of letting go of discomfort, because the whole time you're meditating, pretty much all day, every day, 10 days straight, no technology, no talking to others, it's just being with yourself in the space and in the discomfort of the silence. But whilst you're sitting in that meditation, the body starts to ache, and so it's this beautiful practice of letting go and surrendering. And I find that holding these stretches for 2 minutes can sometimes feel a little bit like that. You really need to learn to lean into the discomfort to get the medicine that sits on the other side of it. All right, let's take a final breath here, all the way in, letting go of any of that tension. And then we're gonna slowly start to release out of the stretch. And just coming back down, let's let those arms come back down towards your side, resting your head on one side. Into a nice deep rest here. And let's take 3 breaths all the way in and all the way out. And breathing in and breathing out. 1 more breath all the way in, expanding the belly and the ribs, and breathing all the way out. All right, gently bring yourself up to a seated position, and we're just gonna bend the knees up, and we're gonna end in child's pose. So just sitting down where's comfortable for you. I like to have my knees a little bit wider so I can fit my belly in between my legs. And then we're just gonna reach the arms out in front and rest the forehead on the mat here. So keeping your forehead on the floor and just focusing in on your breath. Yeah, we're gonna spend about 1 minute here, letting those hips rest in their sockets. All right, let's walk the hands all the way over to the left, keeping the head on the floor once you get there, stretching through the right side of the body. I've got my head lifted just to talk to you guys, but keep your forehead resting on the floor. And you should feel a really nice deep stretch up through that right side of the body. And I want you to really spend some time on your breath here. So let's start to work towards a 5-second cycle of circular breathing. So I want you to start to work towards breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's walk the hands back to center. Coming across to the right side now, getting a stretch through the left side of the body, forehead on the floor. And let's keep working on that 5-second cycle. So breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, taking a moment here to just come into your center. Keep that breath going, breathing all the way in and breathing out. Coming back into center, and let's just take 30 seconds here. Slowly coming back up to center, and we're just going to cross the legs over. Bring your hands into prayer pose by your heart and just bow your head, and just take a minute here to give yourself a little bit of thanks. Sometimes it can be very hard to slow down and do the things that are good for us, but it's these practices that really allow the body to come back to baseline, back into your parasympathetic nervous system. And this is your rest and digest state. So in this state, I wish you a beautiful evening of rest. Pop some lavender on your pillow, wear your face mask, whatever it is that you need to get a really nice, good quality of sleep. And I will see you in the next series. Good night.